Yo, check this out. San Miami and AC in your sight. That's what I'm talking about. We on the line tonight. Yeah. It must be Friday night, huh? Check it, right? Thought brokers on the air. It gotta be Friday night. You know AC and Sam I am. Every take come tight. They come correct with the true crime. Cut through the hype. If you ain't tapped in yet, you behind on sight. They got the news, got the facts. Every angle they glean. Thought brokers breaking down true crime coats in between. Story veterans, seasoned voices sitting the scene. They've been cooking up these cases for a hot minute clean. If there was trophies for getting lit and still going live, they sweep the whole award show. Every medal, all five. Buzz brain, sharp tape, still the logic survive. They keep it honest, keep it raw, keep the madness alive. And it's not only news, it's the jokes that they choose. Words are hard. One-star strip clubs, they review the rules. Very passionate rundowns on them toys you can use. Amazon confessionals, pick a product and view. Alex murder, OJ headlines, Gypsy Rose in the file, twin flame scammers, Menendez on the case profile. People kidnapped, hoodwinked with a digital smile, scammed and straight up whack. It's in the docket on trial. It don't matter the fatter that the storyline stack. The better payoff in the end when they're running it back. They break it down frame by frame, every detail intact. Never slack, never clock out. They stay on the attack. Let's act. Sam, I am in AC. Sam, I am in AC. That perspective is key. Perfect duo to make you look and actually see all the bad in the world, all the rot underneath. From the killers to the monsters living right down the street. They ain't stuck on pretty phrases. They don't dance round facts. Ain't too many extra fillers when they talk on the acts. They just lay it how it is, how these villains react. Bang, bang, case closed, bodies vanish on track. What about coke? They got that every chapter and song. From the quiet gated suburbs to the doctrines gone wrong. When the power and obsession run insanely strong. They call it twisted out, tell you why it's been wrong. So long. Somewhere out there is a system that keeps letting it slide. Whole towns look the other way, just protecting the pride. But the brokers pull receipts, bring the truth to the light. Name the patterns that repeat when the money's in sight. Probably best in the world at exposing the scheme. So sit down, let the feed roll. Welcome into the stream. One of the best boy-girl tag teams you ever have seen. Pulling threads on every case till the motives are clean. Words are hard, yeah, Sam, but you still land tough. Hard as hell, but you spin them when the topics are rough. Might laugh at the stumbles when the phrasing is scuffed, but the insight stays sharp and the research enough. Yeah, AC, yo, where you at? Light the vibe, set the scene. Joints, blunts, gummies line, keep the stress off the screen. Beer, vodka, or some whiskey while they comb through the mean. Say it with me, pour it up, keep the conscience clean. Thought brokers, name ringing every feed that you see. Sam I am and AC, bring the oddities free. Thought brokers, where the thoughts and the brain waves agree. Thoughts and brain matter, that's the only real currency. Thought brokers bring the weirdest little crime to your door. From the headlines to the footnotes you ain't heard before. They entangle all the rumors, leave the truth at the core. Every Friday, different rabbit hole to fall and explore. Yeah. Thought brokers pick a platform, they already on it. From the phone in your hand to the screen where you want it. They lace a random fact, drop a gem, make you ponder upon it. Put a feather in your bonnet with the way that they flaunt it. And if you hate one-star strip club reviews they spit, then you ain't home, you off base. You ain't built for this wit, far from it. Wrong stomach for the jokes that they fit. They stay blunt, never filter. They just let that drip. Thought brokers, Sam I am and AC on track. They don't censor for the comfort, they refuse to pull back. They don't always see it equal, they'll collide in the fact. But that tension be the engine keeping every show packed. Not just hanging out on Friday doing gummies and joints. They dissecting every angle, put a case in the point. Friday nights turn forensic and they sharpen the oints. Every time stamp marked up with the clues in the joints. Thought brokers, hit the follow, like and share what you find. Drop a comment, hit subscribe, keep them front of your mind. Yo, Sam I am AC, let the storyline climb. Grip that mic, y'all. Thought brokers on time. Thought brokers on time. Sam I am AC, keep the truth in the rhyme. Friday night, tune in, let it sharpen your mind. Thought brokers sign off. Till the next deep dive. Grind. It right.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode 9 of Thought Brokers. It is me, Sam I Am, and my co-host, AC. You good to go there? Or?
I was never worried. What do you mean good to go? I'm always good to go.
I had time to pee.
I'm always good to go.
I know you're such a professional, ever
And
the professional.
behind the scenes, it's cool as a cucumber.
I know.
You
I'm
guys
so
know
proud of
you
you.
gotta keep it. You gotta keep it together. Fucking fucking. That's right. I think 30 seconds before you hear you hear our voices. Fucking. Yep.
All right. What I'm excited for tonight.
How was your week?
It's been busy as fuck.
Yeah.
So busy. Listed in a new house this week, so that's good.
How was your week?
Right. No, so I mean it's been a good week, but busy.
Yeah.
Medicare's kind of kicking up again too, which is good. Doing all the things.
Yeah, absolutely. It is kicking up, and I've had more Medicare conversations in this week than I have in a long time. So
Yeah,
it's good. It's happening. It's all happening.
it's all going to
It's
be
all
great.
happening. So episode 9 is a doozy because it has to do with kids.
Yeah.
Mr.
Mr. R's
This
checking
time
in.
he's come. This time he came from the beginning because last time he's like, "Well,"
Yeah.
we're like, "Well, have a great night, guys," and he was like, "Hey, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to make some more show for you, you know." But yeah, it's a good one because it's almost a continuation of 8, right? And
Absolutely.
we spoke about people who got easily manipulated, people who were duped, people who maybe the manager of McDonald's in Kentucky, not the hottest fry in the fry basket,
Right.
right, fryer. So these people got duped into doing some really heinous stuff to people who worked.
Fucking
Let me do this one.
yes.
There we go. You know that now we're talking. Right? Okay. Everybody stop texting me now. So these people in McDonald's were brutalizing. Where's your line, right? That's the whole thing about the show that we're doing last week, but I think it has a lot to do with the show this week.
Yes.
Yes. Let me bring this up real quick. Because I didn't have the.
Yeah, I'm excited for tonight's show.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. It's going to be really good, and I'm going to prove it to you.
You're gonna prove it?
No, we are going to prove it to them.
Okay. I thought you said I'm gonna prove it to you.
No.
I'm like, I know
Well,
it's gonna be
we're going to
good.
prove it to each other.
It's you and I.
We have to. We have to. We have to. Okay. So maybe this. So, did you? Are you at the top of the list there? I got to bring it up.
Yep, I'm here. Do you want me to start instead?
Yes, please. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So tonight's episode begins with a knock at the door. It may happen after midnight. A teenager is asleep. 2 adults enter the bedroom, and they're often strangers. They tell the child to get dressed. There may be no explanation, and there may be no opportunity to speak privately with a parent. There may be no chance to call anyone. The child is taken from home, placed into a vehicle, and transported, sometimes across several states, to a residential program chosen by the parents. The industry calls this transportation. Survivors call it being gooned. Some call it being kidnapped, or call it kidnapping. So, and the strange part of it is that the parents may believe they are saving their child. They may have been told that the child is addicted, manipulative, violent, unreachable, or heading towards death. They may have even been told that ordinary parenting has failed. They may have been warned that hesitation could be fatal.
It's true, and so tonight, it's not a simple story of, about like obviously like evil people, right? Like people are like, oh my god, that guy is, you can tell some of these people are actually evil to the core, but it's not really about that.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
a story about authority, and once again, it's something that really makes us wonder is what happens with authority and who has it. And again, this week is about the same thing. It's the story of money, really, the corrupter of all, the great corrupter. So it's a story about what happens when an institution gains the power to define every objection as proof that the institution is necessary. Should I say that again?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So it's a story about money because it's what happens when an institution gains the power to define every objection as proof that the institution is necessary. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy where it's always like, yeah, we investigated ourselves, we found no corruption.
Correct. And because once a child is labeled manipulative, that's a hard word for me tonight, sorry, the child faces an impossible problem. If they say they are being abused, that can be described as manipulation. If they cry, that can also be described as emotional instability. If they become angry, then they can be called that can be called aggression. If they become quiet, then that is described as resistance. And if they finally comply, the program can claim that the treatment is working.
True, it's the old school thing. Sorry about that. It's the old school trope, right?
Right.
Like, if I'm having an argument and I lean forward too much, right? Like, oh my God, he's being aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
If I just sit back and do this, it's like, God, look at him, he doesn't even care. If I do this, it's like, oh well, he's dodging the question. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. I
how
mean,
can you
and
win? Yeah,
it's kind of that way in it
relationships.
just in everyday life, being just a person.
Yeah,
You can be perceived in so many ways, but once somebody labels you as something, it is hard to get out of that. Also, hey sister, thank you for listening. She is in for next week, by the way.
oh, excellent. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. So episode 8 is about about a stranger using authority over a telephone, right? A voice gave an order, employees obeyed, ordinary people. Oh, wonderful. Ordinary people. What happened here?
I don't know.
One day I'll have my shit together. I have to do so many things before the show.
One day.
If you just, people should see like the frantic things that are happening behind the scenes, like trying to live a life and then also do a very
Yeah,
important podcast. We're important.
I get it.
We are. Damn it. And so ordinary people gradually cross that line into authority. So the employees obeyed. Tonight we follow the same kind of psychological mechanism into an entire industry. So parents surrender authority to their
Huh?
children's okay,
Yes.
to their children. So programs become unquestionable. Children lose the ability to prove what is happening to them because it's so powerful. And everybody involved may tell themselves that the cruelty is being performed for the child's own good. So it's going to flip on them.
Yeah. And tonight's central question is brutally simple. At what point does saving a child become imprisoning one? Yeah.
I mean, how do you even answer that? Well, I mean, imprisonment could mean a lot of different things to different people.
Oh, it absolutely can. So just FYI, there is a content warning. And some of these things that we are talking about tonight can be triggering. So before we begin tonight's episode includes discussions of institutional abuse. Again, words are hard, folks.
Words are hard.
Physical restraint, isolation, coercive confessions, food restriction, humiliation, and childhood trauma. We will not describe graphic incidents merely for shock value.
No,
That's not how we
we roll.
roll.
So, right. So, right after the content warning. So it's also not medical advice. So it's also not an argument that every residential program, therapist, or treatment facility is abusive, right? So we're not painting a huge brush. There are young people who need serious intervention, and that is there for them, for that matter. There are families facing addiction, violence, psychiatric crises, situations they can't safely manage on their own. The question is not whether treatment is sometimes necessary. The question is what happens when treatment becomes the transparency kind of disappears in the treatment, and consent becomes irrelevant because the punishment is renamed into therapy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the
Yes.
punishment is baked in the cake. So we'll start with this for a second here. So when help arrives like an abduction, the transport. And this is great. Did you know anything about this before?
I have not, no. So,
This is heavy shit. So, Sam, imagine that you are 15 years old.
okay,
Are you there?
I'm there. That was a long time ago, but yes, I'm there.
That's why I had to wait a little longer. It's 2 in the morning. Okay. Your bedroom door opens and two large adults walk in.
Okay.
Your parents are nearby, but they are not stopping them. And you're wondering what the fuck, mom and dad, what's happening? Does your nervous system like understand in that moment what's happening?
No, you're thinking shit's getting real and I don't know what the fuck's going on at this
And
moment.
what is real? What is if shit's going down? What is down?
Right.
And what is the shit they talk of?
Yeah, what it is said shit. Shit's hitting the fan. No, it does not understand treatment as far as, your nervous system. It doesn't understand. It understands danger, and this is what it feels like, right? It understands strangers are entering your private space. It understands that your parents have either lost control or surrendered control, and it understands that whatever rules protected you yesterday may no longer exist.
Absolutely not. They don't exist. They're not in the vocabulary anymore. So the distinction matters because the adult explanation bit might be like we're taking you somewhere safe, and as an adult, 15. We've had this argument before. 15, you have a little bit more wits about you, right? It's not you're like a 9-year-old. It's a
Correct.
big
I
right.
mean, I can say I was pretty naive at 15. However, I would have been like, what the fuck's going on? You know what I mean?
Right, a little bit, at least a little bit.
Yeah.
So the child's body experiences. I have been removed from my home by force. That's it. That's the main thing. Like if somebody's
Right.
taken me, like that movie Taken.
And transportation companies often present the process as because the teenager might run away, resist self-harm, or refuse treatment. Parents are may be advised not to warn the child in advance because advance notice could create confrontation. So, I mean, say you have okay, I can relate. My oldest daughter, and she knows. I'm not telling tales out of school, but was trying. You know what I mean? She's run away from me multiple times. She's 26 now, so I mean, it was when she was a minor, and this could have been a situation where I was like, okay, I need help, let me see what this organization can do. And of course I wouldn't have said anything because I wouldn't want her to, run away again or have that confrontation before it happened.
Exactly. And you'd be afraid to like really lose her.
Right. In
And
trying to save her,
exactly. Yeah, of course. And that's the main thing. Like, everyone's having a moment of like not understanding what the fuck is going on.
right.
Like everybody's kind of misconstruing everyone else. And uh, something we didn't bring up. I mean, Occam's razor. The simplest answer is the simplest answer. Like the kids are going to think like my parents don't love me.
Right.
I'm being taken. My parents don't love me.
Right.
Right.
It's an abandonment thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's issues already, now you add abandonment on it. And I think that's one of the hardest ones to overcome.
That's how you get OnlyFans. Children.
Truth.
So, so we sit with this psychological elegance of that sales pitch, right? So check it out. The child's predicted resistance becomes the justification for denying the child any warning. Let's do that again. I butchered that hard.
It's okay.
And we sit with that because the psychological elegance of this sales pitch that I'm about to say. The child's predicted resistance becomes the justification for denying the child any warning. So the fact that they're going to resist is the whole thing. Why not to do this,
Right.
right? Because they're going to resist. And the child fights back. That proves the force was necessary. So as soon as it's obvious. It's the person that hits themselves and then goes ow, and then waits for the security guard to come over them. And the process creates a reaction that it later uses to justify itself. It's literally the snake that's eating itself, the Ouroboros. You can't stop it.
Right. That is a closed loop. The institution cannot be wrong because every response confirms its original diagnosis.
It's true.
Said child is unstable. Any reaction proves it. We are doing this for the better good, so to speak.
Right. For the better good.
The greater good is probably the words I should have used.
I totally
You know,
understood that, by the way.
good.
Totally got it. Right. So when people hear the word kidnapping, they picture a criminal acting against the parents, right? But here, the parents may have signed the paperwork. The child is still removed from against their will, but the adults were legal custody and authorized it. So up until you have a certain age, people can sequester you as needed. If somebody people other people that made you decided, you know what, you're going to be taken by force, no matter what the trauma is, that's going to happen to you. And the child he's removed, and then the process may be lawful while feeling indistinguishable from the abduction from the person being taken. That's the problem. They don't, we don't know. Like, it doesn't look like anything from the inside. Like
And,
it's the same exact thing.
and to be fair, I mean, as a minor child of, let's just say 15, let's take that again. Um, you know, uh, we we always say your brain isn't fully developed until at least 25, and let's be fair, probably later.
I was a dumbass
In
till
a
I
lot
was
of
39.
in a lot of cases. But I mean, if you think about that, I mean, it is hard to distinguish, even though mom and dad said yes. This feels like it's wrong, right?
I can't wait to see the mom's justification, the parents.
Right.
Right?
Well, and that first night teaches the child the central rule immediately. Your version of reality no longer controls what happens to you. Where'd you go?
I'm right here. I'm just trying
Okay.
to get in between us. It's such a great script that it goes. We don't have too much time in between. I'm trying to charge my
No,
phone, so
you're good.
it's like when you want to get home,
Yeah.
but every green light is happening,
Yeah.
and you're like, "Fuck! I just want to fucking stop the car for a second. I have to do something.
Just needed just a sec.
I just need to like light a smoke or change the
Hmm.
CD. Like, just give me a second, please. No. Oh,
Right.
today all the green ones are out. Okay, great. So and this is the first surrender, right? So not the surrender of bad behavior, but the surrender of the narrative ownership. Someone else now decides what your fear means. So sometimes um, uh, someone else could decide what your resistance means. Someone else can decide whether you are telling the truth. And it goes back to 2 episodes ago when we talked about
Yeah.
wrongful convictions. Somebody else
Yes.
is deciding what you do, right? What's true for you, how you look, right? The court of public opinion.
And
All
even
those things.
last episode where somebody else on a phone decided you're the one who committed a crime that you didn't. So, which is also a wrongful accused. So this will be our first psychology corner of the night. Do you have your lovely sounds or no?
Yeah, that fucking sounds. All the sounds. Watch this. Watch this. You know what? This one right here. Look,
If it doesn't work, it's fine.
it works.
Okay.
Psychology corner.
This is why I love you. So this is learned helplessness. So learned helplessness occurs when someone repeatedly experiences events they cannot control. Eventually, the person may stop trying to escape or change the situation, even when some opportunity becomes available.
Exactly. Right here, okay. So in plain language,
There we go.
if every door is locked enough, you eventually stop checking the handle, right?
Yeah, and a
Everything's
teenager who was transported without warning has already been taught something before the formal treatment begins. They've been taught that the adults can change the rules without notice. They've been taught that protest may accomplish nothing. And they've been taught that the people they trusted may participate.
Could you imagine? I mean, You're like, Mom, Dad, what the fuck? You set me the fuck up. I thought we were like a team, you know?
Well, I have to say, this kind of hits a little close to home. When my oldest was 17, she was kind of going down a path. Now, it wasn't like this. I didn't hire a company or whatever. Normally, every Christmas or so, she would go see her dad for a couple of weeks. When she was 17, we only did a one-way ticket and she was going to stay with her dad. Now, it was her other parent, but it was a form of tough love, like, hey, let me get you out of the element. It did backfire. She ended up
Spectacular.
finding a way home.
Gotcha.
She ended up finding a way home, but this, I'm like, I can put myself in the parent's point of view of I'm trying to do what's best for my child. I don't, I've
no
tried
playbook.
everything else. What else can I do? Maybe if I change their, geography, you know what I mean?
It's obvious. Yeah, of course. Like, get them out of here. You know,
Right, get them away from, the element that they're hanging out with. Again, this was with her parent. It wasn't something that it wasn't
abandonment thing.
anything,
Yeah.
but I kind of understand the parental thought of, I just want to do the best by my child and, help them in every way I can.
Even if it's not with you, which is
Right.
a really hard
I,
choice to make.
well, it is, especially because, um, especially when you're not together with your child's parent, other parent, and their whole life leading up until that moment, they're like, well, we can do better, and you're like, okay. Finally, I was like, all right,
Yeah.
you can
Yeah,
try.
like, okay.
It
You say
didn't work,
so.
but uh, but I can understand being at your wit's end, especially, trying everything you can, loving the child more than anything in the whole world, you know what I mean? And wanting to do the best by them. So,
So, which creates the first moral problem of the evening? Can a therapeutic relationship begin with an experience designed to remove control? Can something that's supposed to be cathartic, healing, something that's supposed to make you feel better, is that can that just by beginning by with that kind of violence, do you think that there could be anything good, redeemable from that experience because it started like so shitty?
I honestly don't think so now that I've, again, from my own past experience. But and can trust be rebuilt by the same system that begins demonstrating that trust is unsafe?
It's hard. It's hard. But it's also like trust us. Just trust us.
Right.
So I'm gonna ask the chat this, right? So I'll actually type it in there the next time we have a moment. Maybe at the break. Do you believe that a minor should ever be transported to treatment without being told beforehand?
Kind of already said how I feel on that.
Just for yourself,
Hindsight,
it's really
no.
putting out there for everyone. Yeah.
Yes. As far as everyone, let us know what you think. But for me, hindsight, no, it should have been discussed prior. But my sister said, I spanked my kids and they are great. Every kid's different.
I didn't get spanked, and I look at me, I'm a douchebag.
I raised my kids and one of them decided to just rebel on every fucking turn, and that's fine. But back to that question, and specify why when you answer the question in the chat, because I would never do it is an easy way, easy to say when your family is calm. Tonight, we need to think about what fear might convince us to authorize. And I can definitely relate to all of this.
Yes, ma'am.
So now we're going to talk about selling fear to parents. The sales pitch your child will die without is really your child will die without us, or your child will, be a piece of poop without us. So most parents don't wake up hoping to send their child away. Many arrive at these programs exhausted. The child may be using drugs. They may be skipping school. They might be depressed. They, they may be self-harming. This is a bit triggering for me, I have to say.
I hear that.
It's fine. I'm okay with it. They may be violent and they may be in genuine danger. I've felt all of these before.
What if I told you I did this on purpose? No, I'm kidding.
You might have. You know me well
I'm
enough.
not that I'm not that diabolical.
I know. I think shows like this where we can, relate personally are the best. So
Sure, of course, they sure are because it's hard to not. It's hard to grasp some of these things are super like ultra violent things that we talk about. It's almost like if I told you I have $10 billion. You're like, okay, that's a lot of money, but like, do you know how much that is? Like, can you?
right,
It's a lot of like it's. I don't think you know what that is.
right,
It's an astronomical number that we just can't wrap our mind around, right? So like,
right.
but these are things that are absolutely something that can hit home, and yeah, I guess I didn't think of it. I didn't think it's gonna go so deep, you know. So
Yeah, I didn't
um,
either.
and so that's the precisely why the parents are vulnerable, right? Desperation is not stupidity. Desperation is reduced bandwidth. When people believe time is running out, they stop comparing every option, right? Because only a couple things can create options: time and money.
Truth.
When you have time, you got a lot of options. You can look at everything. Be like, well, whatever, it's gonna happen whenever. And money creates any option you want. So if you have two of those things, you have one of those things, you're fucking winning.
Right,
But imagine having none, right? And that's where they look for certainty in things that are looking certain.
right. I mean, programs and educational consultants may offer that certainty. They may they may describe a narrow window of intervention, and they may warn parents that their child knows how to perform wellness, manipulate therapists, or divide the family.
Definitely kids sometimes know how to manipulate, but to have a term for it, like like feigning wellness. Like I don't think they're that sophisticated to be able to do that.
No, but in situations, we do have a comment, and it says, "I don't think this is a black and white question. So many factors change the decisions," and I agree. There are times where you are at your wit's end and you think, "Holy shit, what do I do?" And you believe that the child will manipulate and divide and has in the past, but
Right. So the message becomes: you can't trust a child. You
yeah.
cannot trust the instincts. You cannot trust ordinary outpatient treatment, but you can trust us, the people that will sequester and basically traumatize your child.
Yeah. And once parents accept that frame, a communication from the child can be filtered through it. A letter saying, "Please bring me home," becomes evidence that the child is resisting treatment. A telephone call describing abuse becomes evidence of manipulation.
Right.
Hey, I've already manipulated you prior to this, and this is the reason I'm here. And I'm going to say anything I can to get home. I mean, I can see how that would be too. Anger becomes proof that the child needs more time. It's not working yet, but it will.
Just give it time. Marcia, Susan, give it time. So this is where the love becomes the access point. So the parent is not necessarily being sold a boarding school, right? They're being sold relief from the possibility that their child will die, because now it instilled the very notion that your child cannot survive this, and they're the only ones
Right.
that can remove the child from said place that is harmful to the point of death. And there's nothing worse than um, that for a parent. Is the obvious thing, and then it just keeps fulfilling itself.
Right. And I can tell you, I mean, I'm going to get real personal here. When my daughter came back from her dad's, because of the element that she was hanging out with. Anytime I saw a shooting or some violence in areas where I knew she was frequenting, I got a pit in my stomach and I thought it was her. So I understand the thought of, if I don't take her out of this situation, I might be seeing her being called by the police and saying, you know, your child is no longer here. And in that respect, that really that is an almost impossible sales pitch to resist. So you're already at your wit's end. You've been dealing with said problems for who knows how long, and somebody comes in and goes, "Hey, guess what I can do?
Yeah.
We can make it better. This is what's going to happen. This is what you're going to hear from your child, but we're doing the right thing by them." I mean, I don't know. I don't know a parent that wouldn't go, well, maybe I should try this as a last resort.
A tired parent that doesn't know, doesn't have a manual and has life happening to
No.
them too.
Yeah.
So okay, so imagine the consultant says you can bring your child home, but you need to understand the risk. Okay. Now the parent has been made morally responsible for any future tragedy. So he's put the onus on the fucking, like, okay, here you go.
You
We're
can
telling
bring
you
them
not to.
home.
And then like, okay, well, fuck, you're setting me up. Um, if the child relapses, it runs away, it self harms, the parent may believe it happened because of them. And then you say as a parent, like, you're goddamn fucked me up if you think I'm going to fucking take the blame for me harming my child, right? I mean,
Right.
that's the last thing you want to do. So, like I said, if relapses, it happened because they became weak because the actual parents couldn't do it, and they should
Right.
not
That
have that on their
it,
conscience.
it's hard to tough love, and it's easy to prey on you need to tough love. And some programs allegedly train parents to interpret compassion as enabling, and that's tough too.
Enablers, yeah, yeah, that's one word for parents for sure,
Yeah.
and for kids. It's a dangerous inversion because the instinct is to listen, to listen to your kids and actually like want to understand them. It just weakens, and doubt creeps into sabotage, into the next, indignation. You just don't want to hear it, and it's over and over and over again. So you're only human, right? And the obedience to the program becomes a love. So whatever program we're talking about, again, we're not picking on one program. We're talking about this in general. And
Right.
my brother at one point was not doing fantastic. He went to military school in northern Florida, and it was kind of that thing too. It was like either this happens or I don't know what's gonna happen. You know.
Right.
So it looks like we're up against our next psychology corner.
All right.
Wait,
Psychology corner. I don't know. That's my version of it. It's very upbeat. Bing. I don't have the my sounds right at my fingertips here. Go for it.
thank you. And okay, so fear changes the decision making. Okay, and again, this is going to be a little graphic. So fear changes everything in decision making, specifically words are hard. When a person feels threatened, the mind narrows its focus, and complex questions become binary. It's like if I don't do this, I do that because it's in under stress. We have to get rid of all the options, right? Like, okay, there's too many things. There's going to be two things. Quickly choose, and that's like our fight or flight mechanism. And complex questions become so easy that it's either act or fail, save the child or lose the child, send them away or watch them die. So it's I can tell you verbatim. I heard that in my house. He's gonna die here
Yeah.
in Miami. In Miami, we have to send him to northern Florida to do. And it did do the job. I just don't know if I don't know if my parents were prepared when they go pick him up. Who they were gonna go pick up.
Right. And I'll tell you, when I sent my daughter to her dad's when she was 17, that's kind of how I felt too. I'm going to either send her away or watch her just, wither. Yes. So, and this is that is sometimes called tunnel vision. A frightened person may not ask who licenses this program. So talking into programs and things that you send your child into, what credentials do the staff possess? You know, how often can I speak privately with my child? You know, can my child contact an attorney? What happens if they report abuse? And what is the evidence for the treatment model? So show me a case study of where it's worked, and not just something that you've done. I need something independent, but we're not thinking that. We're just thinking, I'm at my wit's end. What do I do? This seems like the right fit.
This seems like a company that does the thing I need to do.
Right. Yeah.
Make most things. Okay. So, I mean, okay. So the parent hasn't been placed in research mode, right? Is that right, Matt?
Yeah.
The parent has been placed into a rescue mode. So you're giving the parent a choice. Do you die? Do you do whatever has to be done, right? Even if you know for a fact that that's going to be a bad time for the kid, right?
Right.
Especially because
And
some they're not that bad all the time. Some of them don't even deserve that. You know what I mean?
right.
They might just jump the gun and say like he's a demon incarnate and he's being Bart Simpson. You know?
Well, and a rescue decision feels morally urgent. Like, I need to
Yeah,
do this now,
harrowing.
or I don't know what's going to happen.
Take action, or we'll lose the kid. You know? So here's a human translation of what we just kind of went over. Okay, so when a house appears to be burning, people do not inspect the fire extinguisher's business license, right? They just fucking grab it. The ethical problem begins when someone profits from the convincing families that every room is already on fire.
Yeah,
That's deep because now
pretty.
someone, yeah,
That's very profound.
very, and just like kind of adjacent to like our prison system, right?
Yeah,
It's for profit,
yeah,
and yet they're brimming. Okay, who? How do we jumpstart that profit? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
who decided that should be fucking private? That's insane, right? That should be something you don't want to do. Not somebody like no one wants that. No one
Right.
should want that.
No.
Right, but no. So so they grab it. The ethical problem begins when they see the profits convincing families saying, "Oh my God, all the fucking rooms are on fire. All your kids are weird. You gotta save them today." You know, and then what are you really doing? So let's talk about the academy at Ivy Ridge. It's called the
Okay.
program. Okay, have you heard about this? Anybody in the audience heard about this?
Let us know if you have.
Yeah. So for many viewers, the accessible doorway into this subject is the Netflix documentary series, The Program: Cons, Cults, and Kidnapping. Okay, kind of like right up our alley, right?
Absolutely.
The series was directed by Catherine Kubler, who had been sent to the academy at Ivy Ridge in Ogdensburg, Ogdensburg,
That's right. Yes.
Ogdensburg, New York. Thank you. Years later, Kubler returned to the former students to examine the institution, right? Like what kind of state it's in today, and its methods and the damage of the survivors, like who came out good, how did they fix anyone for real, and how they stepped into adulthood. Netflix describes this series as an investigation by a former student into a corruption of abuse within the troubled teen industry. So they're saying is the whole teen industry is riddled with abuse and horrendous things are happening. Yet this one is almost singled out. But
Right. So the Ivy Ridge presented itself as a discipline.
it's a
Sorry, let me say that
plan.
again.
It's a plan.
As a disciplinary or therapeutic boarding environment. Parents believe they were paying for education, structure, and behavioral change. But survivors described a tightly controlled system built around levels, points, surveillance, punishment, and restricted communication.
Yeah, a lot like the Milgram um, experiment.
Yeah,
There's only one way to make a cult, right? Bad food, like gruel, mild oatmeal with nothing in it,
right.
little bits of it, um,
Deprivation. Yes.
deprivation, confinement, isolation from others. That's it. That's all you need, and a leader. Na, na,
Yes.
na, 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 leader. Once you identify a leader, that's it. Oh my God, the leader. He's looking at me. and then you get that shit. Like it's a guy, okay, whatever. But the level the level system is important because it converts freedom into a prize. So privileges are no longer normal parts of life. They don't exist for you anymore. You, which sucks for a child to have to experience, right? Like there's no. This is when you do it. This is when you
Right.
have the most rewards. And then speaking freely is a privilege. Looking at another student may be a privilege. Contact with family may be a privilege. Like movement, like I just said, could be a privilege. It's all of those things are textbook.
Right.
Wash, break it down. Thank you. Break it
That was
down.
odd.
But I don't want to be here. I want to be looking at you, Sam.
Here, let's move that over.
There you go.
Oh,
Now we're dancing in the dark. Okay.
yes. There we go.
So, like I just mentioned, moving can be a privilege. Just moving around, eating, seeing your family, talking to people that you love, looking at other people in the eye. That's cruel and unusual torture.
Right. So the institution decides when the child has earned ordinary humanity back. Let me see if.
Humanity. I mean, okay, so the sentence is the center of the argument, pretty much. The institution decides when the child has earned ordinary humanity back. It's a captive. It's just
Yeah.
it doesn't know the extent of the damage that's being done by the extent of it being sequestered and taken. Now you know it's your parents. All those things you feel betrayed. You feel the angst of a teenager already.
Right.
Plus all this like nuanced shit that you can't really process. That's a supervillain arc.
Yeah, and think about it. I mean, and I have thought about this a lot in life, and since I don't know, in my life experiences, from when I was a young teenager to becoming an adult. I mean, I had my oldest when I was 20. I got pregnant at 19 and a half, or 19 and a half, yeah. And things like that. But you're expected to go from, 13 to 18, which is a 5-year span. And at 18, they're like, but you're an adult now. Here's how we do things. You know what I mean? And your parents do keep you as a child up until then. And until then, they have every authority to do what as they please. So, in the respect of this, students can be told that progress depends on complete compliance. But compliance did not necessarily mean genuine psychological improvement. It could simply mean learning how to survive the system. I can tell you, as a people pleaser, this is how I've lived most of my life. Let me do enough to, just make things easy.
If I do enough dishes, I'll blend into the fucking sink.
Right.
So that is the difference between rehabilitation and adaptation. Right? A person can become very skilled at behaving correctly inside the captivity. It's becoming institutionalized. People
Yeah.
who've been in jail or prison for 45
Dupas
years.
did that, right?
Yeah, exactly. But we're talking about real institutionalized people where they don't know how to function any other way. All they know
True.
is like what they're told, how to get through bars, but they're very good at that. They're very good at the captive. Like,
Yeah.
I'm an animal basically. And it means, okay.
You good?
Did I pause? Okay. No, I thought you were going to hear me. So, excuse me. So it means the person hasn't necessarily healed. It means the person has learned how the electric fence works. So we don't know if rehabilitation is working at that point. It's just like, it's the age old question. Are you performing that you're better, or are you better? And at that
Right.
point, does it matter?
Maybe. Probably not. So this documentary also raised serious questions about education. Contemporary reporting noted that Ivy Ridge was not even licensed, certified, or registered with the New York State Education Department, and that diplomas issued there created problems for students seeking to use them later.
I don't get that. That's one thing that I mean, I get the 50s, 60s, 70s where everything was a shit show. Like nothing was, there was no
Right.
record of anything. But like nowadays, you can't. There's no
Yeah, I mean, that's not even a
dodging
thing.
that. Right, of course. You're in the fucking cloud, guy. Everybody
Right.
sees you. Everybody fucking sees you. So parents have this. They may believe that they were like purchasing both treatment and education, right? So that's what people are really pissed about is the educational part. Education happening there. So,
Right.
and I can tell you firsthand because my brother was like, "Yo, that was fucked up," you know. But he also went to like a military Christian one, which
Sure.
was, and but the survivors described like losing years of adolescence inside a system that academic and legitimacy was itself questioned. So there was no academia happening. It was just
You
basically
can't even
a
make a
reform place.
future after it. Yeah.
It's a reform place. This is prison for children.
Right. And, the documentary becomes especially powerful when former students return to the building. The institution is empty. The authority is gone. The rooms are just rooms, and the rules are just papers.
Yeah.
But the survivor's nervous system still remembers what those spaces meant.
Yeah, because what did we learn the other day? That a cell is like 5 by 8, 5 feet by 8 feet, and that's it. That's 23 hours a day, for the most part.
Well, and I mean, and we've talked on this show before about, how memories and things can imprint on a space. I would assume that not only are they imprinted on that space to those kids that or people that were there,
About
but
poltergeist.
they're imprinted on their psyche as well.
You're talking about poltergeist.
Yeah,
Yeah. We can't do shit here because this is an Indian burial ground. Like, guys, when is somebody gonna actually say that? Like,
right.
please, it can't be fine. You can't make the subdivision here, okay? So, Sam, what struck you the most about the Ivy Ridge story?
You know, I think it is that the way the institution controlled credibility. The students were not only confined, they were placed into a system where their testimony could be dismissed before they even spoke.
Yeah, they're baddies.
Yeah.
You can't listen to them. They're baddies.
Yeah.
And really, are there kids baddies? I mean,
It depends.
yeah. I mean, define kid too.
Well,
Like
I
said,
mean,
I have a problem with like I don't lump 9-year-olds, 15-year-olds. And
no,
they're
but
all
still,
children.
a 15-year-old is still considered a child, not like a little kid, but
Right.
an adolescent is, and those are your formidable years. That's where you've formed somewhat of a personality up until then, but this is really where you become you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's where you decide these are my likes, these are my dislikes, this is what I'm going to, what I'd like to do in life. And even then, sometimes you don't.
It's your character page. So we start with all the health, and you're like, all right, I want enough health here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put mana here. So, yeah, the institution did not merely control the doors; it controlled the dictionary. Abuse could be renamed constraint. Isolation could be renamed reflection. Humiliation could be renamed accountability. Fear could be renamed resistance. That's so fucked up because
It is fucked up.
they own their words, they own everything because you've done bad, I do good. Parents hire me, never bad.
Right. And once the institution red leather, yellow leather. I should have done that before. So once the institution owns the language, it becomes difficult for outsiders to see what's happening. So, kid says one thing, institution says the other, but the institution is changing the meaning of what words are. So
I got you. So, all right. So because the same event sounds entirely different depending on who's narrating it, a child says, "They lock me alone in a room." If they said that, if your kid said that,
I'd be like, what the fuck?
But remember, they're bad.
Right. What'd you do? Maybe
What'd
I
you
would
fucking do?
probably
What'd you
say.
fucking do, Bart Simpson? And then like, really? Because now you felt like putting him in a room.
I mean, I was the parent that if my kids got in trouble at school, I was like, what the fuck did you do? I didn't blame, I wasn't one that blamed the teachers. You know what I mean?
Crucify them on the lawn. Right.
My
yeah.
kids might have been like, oh, they hate me. And I'd be like, nah, what the fuck did you do? Because I'm real about it. But so if this was to happen, I'd be like, what the fuck did you do?
Well, because we know what we're dealing with, right? We're not looking at
Right.
like, not my child. So, okay. So because the same event sounds like the same thing. So child says, like I said, the institution says, like they lock me in a room. The institution says we provided a low stimulation therapeutic environment. That
Ah,
just means like we
what a way to spin that.
solitary confinement. No, God no. It's
Low
just a
stimulation.
small slow stimulation like 4x4 box that they can't stand up in.
Right, it's fine.
They're gonna be okay. They're gonna be okay. Obviously,
Right.
everyone's okay. So then, how about this one? So a child says, they held me down. The institution says, well, we performed the safety restraint.
Yeah.
The safety of our orderlies are also important, not just
Right.
Susan. So a child says, they won't let me speak to my parents privately. The institution says, we maintained clinical appropriate communication boundaries. This is all set from before. This is it's like a preset of cookie cutter
Right.
people, NPCs that don't have minds that just say whatever is told by the corporate masters.
Right. And professional language can sanitize almost anything. I mean,
Again,
it can,
exactly.
yeah,
I mean, a clean sentence can hide a dirty room, basically.
absolutely.
So a really nice sentence was said with a lot of confidence, just like the guy from last week.
Hmm.
Hello, I am a cop, and you are going to arrest this guy because listen to me, right? Hey,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
confidence will make you do it. And I was like, fuck yeah, that guy's confident as shit.
Right.
I'll sexually assault anybody you say.
So now let's kind of talk about the rule system, the program when everything becomes a violation. Many coercive residential systems regulate ordinary behavior in extraordinary detail. Students may face rules governing posture, eye contact, speech, physical distance, and facial expressions and interactions. I don't know how you can control a facial expression. I don't. I've not mastered that yet.
Oh, I know. Have you ever had the taste smacked out of you?
The what?
The taste smacked out of your mouth?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Pop. That's one form to fix a face.
yeah. That's true.
Also, hey, yo, you better fix your fucking face. I'm fuck. You don't know what they're gonna do. It's like you're dangerous, mommy.
Hmm.
So it produces a self-monitoring. You are not merely asking; you are doing something. So self-monitoring is huge, and that's another part of the cult that needs to happen.
Hmm.
I hate to, I'm not saying directly to your face that Christianity and Catholicism are cults, but hear me out.
No,
They
I
do
hear
also
you.
have to, yeah, there has to be a certain level of that because, and you have to suspend, reality or what we know as reality to be able to kind of swallow some of these concepts, right? So they're not asking, could anything that I'm doing be interpreted as wrong? Pretty much anything I'm
Right.
doing,
I
not even
mean,
right and wrong. Yeah.
and I can even say growing up in I mean, I went to a Christian school from kindergarten through eighth grade. I can definitely say, you do think about those things. That uncertainty is powerful.
Hmm.
Clear rules allow people to remain themselves without following, or sorry, words,
True.
while following boundaries. Unclear or consistent or constantly changing rules force people to watch authority for clues.
Right.
So one
Yeah.
day I could be right, but the next
Yeah.
day I might get smacked for it. You
And
know,
yeah, 'cause, I mean, nobody's the oracle of the fucking of existence, right?
right?
That we leave that to AI, and they'll. So since we already start off with that basis, like you're nothing, you're a stupid human that can remember things today and not tomorrow, and there's people who have been in a lineup with somebody that has SA them, and they can't choose which one. Like it's just that's what it is.
Right.
So that's when they say there's not enough evidence. I'm like, I don't know, not enough evidence for you. Um, and that turns the staff member into the weather, pretty much, right? So
Yeah.
because it really, right? It's crazy. The tone, the footsteps, the mood. The child learns that the safety does not depend on on the objective rule. Its safety depends on the predicting the power. So wherever the power is, it has to kind of deflect it, become almost invisible, and live within the power. Not it's like imagine a boulder following you around a
Right.
circular room. It sucks. It's never going to stop, but you have to get where it is not. Because if not, you're going to get flattened. You know, and safety depends on the predicting of power. So
So
let's see what
now
happens.
Yeah, we'll move on to our psychology corner three, which is hypervigilance, when the body never clocks out. So, hypervigilance is a state of constantly scanning for danger. A person may closely monitor sounds, expressions, movements, or changes in tone, and this can continue after the threatening environment has ended. And I can tell you, I've been I can relate this back to my life. I've been in many
Right.
abusive relationships, and the constant walking on eggshells is
The
fucking
worst.
crazy,
The
and it
worst.
takes years to unlearn. I can tell you, when even Dave and I got together, I finally with him, if he puts his hand on me at night, I don't, haul up and smack him, because I've had people or past relationships try to take advantage when I'm sleeping. It's just, it's crazy to have to unlearn that, but you
Hmm.
do. But having that in your life fucking sucks.
And you have to have somebody in your life as a partner that understands that. Doesn't
Right. And
go
trust,
about
you
and
can
gaslight
trust.
you. Exactly. And I promised it. When we fix that, I want to swim out to the island of
Right.
Atlantis, and I want to get some human legs so I can come out of the sea, the ocean, so I don't have to be a mermaid anymore or a merman, because
Right.
my fish thing is on top instead of on the bottom. A big fish head like that with big old lips and just a dick. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, in normal language, the guard leaves the tower, but the prisoner keeps whispering.
Yeah. A child who spends months monitoring staff may later become unusually sensitive to criticism, authority, closed doors, or emotional shifts.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's certainly true, but uh, the outsiders may have that person like as dramatic, right? So like don't listen to him. That's this guy's going to gaslight you down the road, right?
Right.
And trauma is not a courtroom argument. I'm trying to figure out a way to say that. You can't cross examine the nervous system into relaxing. So you can't just it's always by its nature always in a state of like, it's a cat on a top tin roof. You're like, what the fuck?
Hmm.
But you can't get the truth out of something that you can't prove the negative.
Agreed.
Okay, and then another recurring element is coercive systems is forced confession. So we've heard about this in our own podcast with Rose for a couple of years. We did that.
Right.
We've talked about a couple of forced confessions where people are just tired. I think
Yeah.
the most famous one is going to be making a murderer,
Hmm. Yes.
right?
That
So
kid.
like the kid was like
I felt so bad for him.
he was really like really dumb,
I felt so bad because,
really dumb.
I mean, somebody could have saved him.
I mean, anyone, like
Anyone.
everybody was like,
They
"Wait,
were
that
just
kid,
so fucking intent on getting a confession,
of course,
and he was the sacrificial lamb, you know?
that kid's turning and burning, bro.
Yeah.
He's taking all the shit for it. Like
Yeah.
it was crazy. It was crazy. We were like, what car? Like that car right there. So much corruption.
Right.
Anyway, I think we remember that for the best way to do it was kind of to run in that movie because it was like, okay, what happens when they go? What happens when you can't make it work? You don't have enough evidence. Could you
Right.
imagine Peter Dupas is on the streets. All these people, the American ones, and Dahmer and Bundy, all these people are back on the
Right.
streets. It's like a movie, right? A really bad movie where all the studio like characters come together like Hanna Barbera.
Right.
So if admission is the only key path to relief, people learn that when they are expected to admit.
And once they confess, the confession can be used as proof that the program was correct. Like, hey, look at this. They fucking
Yeah,
confessed.
I mean we did
It
it.
worked.
Yeah.
It fucking worked.
What did you die? I hate when people tell me that. Did you die? Fuck you, man.
Right.
Yeah, maybe I did a little inside. You don't know me. So there's the other closed loop, right? So you
Hmm.
admitted that you manipulate people, pretty much. Like right, like this is what just the kid, like the kid's just trying to be honest. It's like okay, so you admit it now. You manipulate people, of course you do. The devil
Right.
incarnate, right? To gaslight a kid It's not about a donut or like a something whatever. Like to gaslight them seriously in the real world is
Right.
unforgivable. And so before Ivy Ridge, we're gonna go a little bit backwards, right? So when we return from our break, we're gonna take one. We're gonna play a different song than we do usually,
Yep.
and when we come back, we're gonna talk about. We're gonna go backwards, not so much forward. We're gonna check and see what happened even further back from that. Before WWASP, before much of what people call the troubled teen industry, before that all happened. So
Yeah, we're going to Synanon.
Synanon.
Synanon. Okay, whatever.
Why not?
All right.
Synanon. I like that.
All right. I will let you, or do you want me to do the buttons here?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you can go down to the music and hit the when it's on.
Yep. I will put it here.
Just a little change of pace.
We'll change here. And pardon me, folks. Let's do this.
Before the times when it was so much before, I think your timeline's off. So why are we still here? Only us here, only good boys, good girls, only me and you. Looks like either we've lost or we made it. Depending on perspectives, nothing happens in a vacuum. The ripples of consequence. Nothing happens in a vacuum. A stripped down view of common sense. Triggers are what drive the bullet. Does trigger you that I can pull it? Drive the arrow to the mark, pull it tight. Drive the dart to bark, toss it right. What are you here for? To be a participant. Give all of your nihilistic, rusty views. Keep turning the key. If you wanna be free, don't judge me without introspection. Just turn to the light unless you wanna taste this violence, so you can hear the silence. Silence, violence makes. Hide inside my violence. Indulge me, see through my mind into the prismatic core until my mind is no more. This is now exposure. This is erasure. Not before, never before. Just grief without closure. Ultra violence. You can see it soon as you give up living your way. That's why it doesn't taste right. That's why you feel so gone. Because you never tasted the night. The hunger you were built on would like you to live outside of ultra violence. This was always bigger than you, bigger than me. It was the framework, the SOP for our lives. For our lives. Bring it back some, cause you don't know me like you used to. Like I think you would. In the darkness. In the darkness. Nothing painful about falling down low to you. To me, I inside my violence. Indulge me, see through my mind into the prismatic core until my mind is no more. This is now exposure. This is erasure. Not before, never before. Just grief without closure. Ultra violence. You can see it soon as you give up living your way. That's why it doesn't taste right. That's why you feel so gone. Because you never tasted the night. The hunger you were built on would like you to live outside of ultra-violence. Everything back to the one. It's been so long since I've seen you change. I was truly betting on being taken by the ultra-violence, being taken by the silence, taken by the violence. Either way, I know it's love.
Did the PB happen? What happened now? I can't hear you.
My fault.
Not
I
my
had
fault.
myself
Thank
on
God.
mute.
Thank God.
That song was so good.
Right.
That's what I was saying. I didn't mean to be or not take myself off of mute. I thought I did. So welcome back. Now that you all can hear me, to Thought Brokers. Tonight we're discussing the troubled teen industry and asking where treatment ends and captivity begins.
Treatment ends and captivity begins. My Lord.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus. So, I guess we can go here to before the break we examined the transport process, parental fear, and the academy at Ivy Ridge. Now we need to examine the family tree. So this is our fifth segment. It's called Synanon.
Okay, synonym.
It's
I will say
synanon?
that correctly now.
Synonym.
Cinnamon.
Synonym. So, the blueprint behind the blueprint. So, Synanon began in California in 1958. That's my mom's birthday. That's what I started thinking about. So, 1958, yeah, is an addiction recovery community founded by Charles Diedrich. Okay.
Okay.
It eventually evolved into like a recovery program, into an authoritarian communal organization, widely described as a cult.
Which we love here.
This is why we do this. Yeah. So,
Yes.
one of the best known practices was called the Synanon game. Synanon game. Okay. Synanon game. And it's an intense group of like a confrontation exercise where like the participants were attacked by one another verbally until they claimed purpose of producing honesty or personal charge. Basically, it's the cans that people hold in Scientology.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the basis of every good cult, right?
Yeah. Tell us what you did. And it's like, well, I didn't do anything. Well, we get fucking figured out.
I didn't fucking do anything. The idea was that people's defenses needed to be broken. Comfort was suspicious. Resistance was evidence. And humiliation could be framed as honesty.
Of course. Down is up is down. Dogs or cats.
Right.
It's pandemonium. But that phrase, breaking through defenses, sounds therapeutic, right? Sounds like you're
absolutely
coming through oh my God, you broke your defenses today. No.
Boundaries, all the things.
Yeah. So it contains major danger, right? So who decides whether a person has a defense or a boundary? Is it a boundary? Because you stop, it's still the same thing. You're stopped here.
Right.
Is it defensive? That's up to you, right?
Now, yeah. So a defense is something preventing growth. So I'm getting defensive. I'm just going to fucking stay in my lane because I don't want to fucking change. A boundary is something protecting that person. Mm-hmm. I'm going to set this boundary so you can't hurt me. Right. From the outside, they can look very similar, though.
They do. Absolutely. Because if the teenager refuses to discuss the sexual trauma in front of the group, is it resistance or is it privacy? If a teenager rejects the insulting label, is that denial or is it dignity? These are things that resolve for grown-ups, right?
Right.
I have dignity. Well, nobody's going to tell me what I am, right? Well, why can't the kid feel the same thing?
Right.
Yeah. So emotionally numb, the kid, like during the repeated conversation, these kids kind of have a breakthrough or dissociation, which means that's the breaking point. That's the line we're always looking for. And if you push somebody, doesn't matter what age they are, long enough, they're going to be like, fine, I fucking did it. whatever.
Right.
Just stop doing the thing you're doing to me, right?
And the thing about it is, it's the authority figure that decides which it is.
It's true. And when the authority figure is financially and professionally and ideologically invested in the process, the answer may always favor the process, because we all know how, I'm no communist, but capitalism has some problems too. If it's
Right.
unfettered, it's going to be eventually a bunch of people not having any say in what they do with their work and their time. The same kind of thing, right? The financially incentivized to say, no, that's not how this works.
Yes. So real quick comments. My sister said, "Hey, so sad tonight."
Sorry.
About the topic, or just sad in general. And I'm sorry if you are.
I'm going to say sad in general. Me.
Yeah, I get it. So now we are on our fourth psychology corner. Psychology corner. That's what I'm going to do every time, even though it's not even fun.
There's a harp. There's a better harp. Look, you hear it?
I cannot.
You can't.
It's not coming through on this end now. So it's attack therapy. So breaking the person to build the person, which we've been kind of trained as a society to think that is a thing. So attack therapy uses aggression, confrontation, accusation, or humiliation with the stated goal of breaking down denial and enforcing insight. The problem is that emotional collapse can be mistaken for emotional progress.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you have a breakdown, that means that, a lot of people want this nation to get better. A lot of people think that this nation needs to fall before it gets better, right?
Right.
You have to redo the whole thing. So I guess the group becomes a human wall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the group becomes a human wall, and eventually the person may stop asking, like, "Is this true?" They begin asking, like, "What must I say to stop?" And that's very common in berating someone. It's like, "Okay, what do you want me to say?" You ever had like
Right.
an ex significant other, and you're like, "What do you want me to do for you to stop?"
Yeah, how do I make this better? I just
do I
need
make-
you to fucking stop yelling at me,
Just
or
stop.
yeah, I just need it to fucking end.
Stop looking at me like that. Stop
I've
looking at
been
me like that.
Not even that. It's, the berating and whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So the culture transfers. Researchers and survivor organizations have traced ideological and practical connections from Synanon into later youth programs, including confrontation-based systems, behavior modification programs, and organizations that influenced the troubled teen industry. I mean, that all I can think of is like Scared Straight. I mean,
Of course,
you remember
yeah.
that fucking show when we were kids, and not
course.
kids, like teenagers.
Well, you want to be here, mother? You want to be here,
Yeah,
motherfucking?
the fucking there's a great SNL sketch, a recurring sketch with the premise of being scared straight. But I mean, really, I mean that was a televised fucking version of everything that we're talking about today.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. 'Cause when you get to jail, it's like, I like your booty. Like,
right?
what? I'm gonna eat your booty tonight. Would you?
I
Okay.
think there was one
Life is over.
fucking episode where the one of the convicts made I do, and I was just trying to not make it so apparent. But there was one of the shows where one of the convicts made one of the teenagers like hold his pocket the whole time
Yeah,
and be
the
like, "You're
bitch,
my bitch now." You know what I mean?
And the kid's
But
like 11. He's like, oh
you're
god,
like, I don't know why are you yelling?
are
What's
you
going
gonna
on?
grape me now?
Right. I mean, for real, these things, we televise that for entertainment, for fuck's sakes.
We would
Right.
televise if we had the Coliseum back, we'd televise that too.
Well, I mean, we pretty much do with UFC.
Yeah, totally. But now it needs to be like take off the guardrails, guys. Now it's to the death. Okay.
Right.
Now it's to the death.
Yeah.
No one leaves here. So pain becomes the evidence of progress, right? The more pain you inflict on somebody, it's like, well, it's going to be hard. It's going to be fucked up, and it's going to be horrible for you. And the more people delude themselves and they say, well, he has to go through this stuff. Pain. Who's the arbiter of the pain? Who sets that? And which means harm becomes almost impossible to identify from inside the philosophy, because inside this needs to be exacted on the child, so the child can get his demons out or whatever. And then once it's not only over, it's over when they say it's over.
Well, and
You
the
know,
thought process is if the process hurts, then that may mean it's working.
right?
So let's talk about the WASP or WWASP.
WWASP in
Oh,
Cincinnati.
I had a connection issue, but
Oh, that
right
was
now,
just a moment.
well, just a blip, a little blip there. So the WASP would be like different buildings, same program. So it's the Worldwide Association of Specialty Programs in Schools, commonly known as WASP. Was connected to a network of programs in the United States and abroad. Academy at Ivy Ridge was associated with that network.
It's true, and scale matters, right? So this wasn't just like a strange school operating in isolation. It was a model. Facilities could use a similar systems, vocabulary, seminars, level structures, parent communication strategies. I mean, you name it.
Right. And when one program closed, questions remained about whether personal practices or business a relationship. Sorry, words. Questions remained about whether personal practices or business
Business.
relationship
I'm gonna get no business.
business relationships simply moved elsewhere. Golly Moses, I cannot
That
talk
was
tonight.
hard as hell.
Words are hard. Hard are
Fuck
words.
tonight. Hard R words. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Well then, so the banality of the system, right?
Where are you at?
Underneath the and
Elsewhere. You should be right under there. This is why the troubled teen industry is difficult to regulate.
I was way down there.
Yeah, you were too far.
After attack therapy.
You should be after where I said elsewhere.
This does not.
This is why.
Program. Got it. So scale matters. This is why the troubled teen industry is difficult to regulate as one subject, because it's not one company. It's not one treatment model. It's an ecosystem. Therapeutic boarding schools, for example, wilderness programs, boot camps. I should have gone to fat camp. If anybody,
I should go to fat camp now.
happy birthday, Mom! We got you summer.
We're going to send you to fat camp.
Hat. Camp Chunky Wampus or whatever.
Chunky Wampus.
Mm-hmm. You gotta stay there and don't you steal the Snickers. Don't you take Snickers with you. So boot camps, educational consultants, transport services, marketing companies, parent referral networks, all of these things are complicit, and they are all under that same umbrella.
Absolutely. And each part can claim it is only one piece of said puzzle. Right. The consultant says, I only recommend the program. The transport company says, we only delivered the child. The facility then says, we followed the treatment plan. And the staff member says, I followed the policy. And the parent says, I trusted the experts.
What are you people in charge for? What are you people in charge of?
And much like our story our conversation last week, this is, the person on the other end of the phone that's not claiming to be a police officer said, I only followed what they told me to do.
That's what the SS.
I followed the authority. And again, as a parent, you do, especially in an instance where you feel like you're at your wit's end. I trusted the expert. They told me this is what I should do. I didn't, I came to them for help because I didn't know what else to do. I can feel so, I've been in that a parent's position of, I don't know what to do with my child. I don't know how to make this better.
Did I break it? Did I break to my kid? But that's almost impossible in itself. If it allowed you to have a child, You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's going to be up to you now to make it, the best possible person,
Right.
right? I would imagine. I'm not a parent, but I get it. So most institutional harm does not require everyone to wake up being evil. Like everybody's like, "Mwah." let's let's get it. It requires each person to perform a small role without examining it and complete the machine, just like the McDonald's people.
Yeah.
Everybody played a small role. Okay, so you're gonna say this. Okay, you keep that in your head, and then you're gonna delegate something to somebody else. If they can
Right.
just say yes,
Right. It's a tried and true sales tactic.
right.
And,
Call 10
so
people, one person will answer. Period.
exactly. You smile and dial. You fucking, you might get hung up 100 times, but 10 people out of those 100 will say yes.
You still need
So
Medicare, bro. You still need Medicare.
I've done it for years. So one person completes intake paperwork. Benign. You wouldn't think you're part of the problem there.
No, you're so
One
far down the food
person
chain.
removes a privilege. You're following the rules dictated by your higher up. One person approves isolation. Again, this is in the rule book. This is how it's supposed to be done. You know, uh, One person monitors the calls. I'm just here to, pick up on shit they're trying to manipulate you for. One person invoices the school district. So, I mean, now we're getting paid to provide this horrible service. And then one person tells the parent not to believe the child. I feel like that person is the worst of the worst. You know what I
It's
mean?
devastating. Yeah, super devastating. That's not cool. It's
No.
and to hear it, like even I was like, what? Like, I heard it in the car. I was like, what did you guys say? Oh, okay, well, my brother. Okay, so it was weird to have that conversation with my parents like now. Okay, so we're going here to so nobody feels like the kidnapper. Nobody feels like the jailer. Nobody feels like an architect. But the child is still confined. Like that was my point earlier. You can call a spade whatever you want to call it. The thing is
Right.
that it's bound, it's scared, and it's like it has to have a soul. He or she is bound and scared. These are little people, and if anything, deserve to be protected, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah. Keep going.
so wrapping up kind of one of the final segments, why the children were not believed. Okay, and this is again going back to like wrongful conviction. Like I didn't do this, and now you have even less impetus to even believe your kid, which is a little sad. But again, track records speak for themselves, and you know your kid better than anybody else. So this may be the most psychologically important section of this whole episode because this is where many children were not believed, and this is where damage really happened.
Yeah. I mean, because the program often controlled the explanation before the child could give one, parents could be warned that the child would lie. They could be told that the child would make accusations. They could be told that attempts to leave were part of the illness.
Totally, absolutely, yeah. Like they want to get away from good. They're bad already. So imagine they're tainted with Satan, whatever, right?
Right.
How that thing has to flap his arms outside to get people's attention. Like inflatable, garland, whatever from Family Guy. Like it's fucking amazing. But like it's true. It's like I will do anything to get your attention. And once now you're here, it's kind of gross. Like I'm not totally loving
Absolutely.
what happened to America, but so this is exact, right? So the institution says your child may tell you you're cruel, and now the parent hears cruelty allegations, and they predicted that. They're like, oh yeah, of course he think I'm cruel because he's such an evil person that he needs to like seethe in his bed and wake up like Nosferatu. Like these are children, right? And it's just so.
Well, I mean, in respect to it all, I mean, they are. We're told that tough love is good, right?
Yeah.
We're told that tough love is the thing to do.
It is.
So,
Depending
when
on the
you're
spectrum, right? Like if your kid's really bad, you got to put him on a train. If not,
and tough love is good. I mean, tough love needs to be there
Mhm.
in with boundaries, right?
yeah, it has to be, and it has to be real because if not, They're just going to see a letter after your name. They're not going to care.
Well, and I'll tell you what. Let's just go back into my own life. One of the biggest changing points in my life, I was in my early 20s on drugs, and I needed the tough love. And one of the things my parents did was I was kicked out of the house, which I should have been. They took the car that they paid for, which they should have. I'm not saying anything that they shouldn't have. And another thing that they did was talk to my family, all of my family, including my grandmothers, my uncles, anybody that could enable me at the time. They said, "Do not give money." You know, if and I remember back then I lived in a car for a while.
Yeah,
Uh,
you mentioned that a couple times.
yeah, I
Which is
have.
rough. Yeah.
It was, but it was honestly the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. It made me introspect. But back then, I do remember that my dad's mom, my nana,
Oh no.
I would call her and say, "Hey, I'm fucking hungry." And
So
but I was
yeah.
trying to scam at the time. I wasn't addicted to drugs, but I was in the throes of, I'm having a really good time getting high. You
I don't
know,
want to stop getting high.
I'm going to continue to get high. But I would be like, "Hey, I'd like, X amount of dollars for, food." And she'd be like, "Well, your dad said I can't." Because I was cut off, which was
Oh
fine. I
wow.
should have been. But I will make you a sandwich. Come over, and I did
Right.
because I did need food, but I was also trying to scam
Of
cash,
course.
right?
But you were also
Um,
trying to be like, no, this is normal. It's normal
yeah,
to not eat for 6 days. Of
right.
course.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Um,
And your dad
so
knew the deal.
in that respect, it was the best thing that, I mean, for
Yeah.
me, but that tough love was the right tough love. I wasn't
But
kidnapped. I wasn't taken,
look
but
at the support
prior to,
system though. The support
and
system was there.
right.
Mm.
And even prior to that, I had, my mom had tried to put me on like antidepressants, thinking that's why I was being such a fucking rebel and doing all these things. No, I was
Get
just a
your
shithead.
money.
I was a shithead. You
Yeah,
know what
get
I
your
mean? And
favorite
I've
yeah.
apologized to my parents multiple times, but I mean, in trying to be that tough love and hearing, I'm not being treated right or whatever, you I can see how these institutions would prey on a parent and go, "Nope, this is what you need to do." But you're going to hear them say you're cruel. And I was an asshole to my parents back then. I called them every name in the book. I called them everything but white. You know what
Right.
I mean?
You said
and I was a shithead, but I can understand again the psychology of it for
yeah.
these institutions to go, we're not the fucking bad people. Your
Right.
kid is because they're being, destructive to themselves.
And how much you like your kid? You want your kid? You love your kid like $500 a month, or you love your
Do you
kid
want
like
to save
1,200?
them or do you
You
want to
want
see
them to
them,
die?
die of
Because
addiction,
you'll kill them. Make sure to point the finger at you,
Right.
and
Sorry, I had
take
to go
advantage.
off on a tangent there.
Oh, totally fine. It
But
makes it
again,
better.
I can really relate to this in more ways than one. So
Well,
go
good and
ahead.
bad. No, good and bad. I was agreeing with you. Good and bad
Yeah.
because we want the emotion, but geez,
And
I
I
took
and
advantage.
I will always I'm always very upfront about my past. I'm not ashamed of it. It made me who I am today, and I'm proud of who I am today. Had that never have happened, who knows what would have happened to me? Would I have, been able to find, the love of my life? Would I have been able to have the career that I have?
You wouldn't have
I
loved
don't
you.
think
You wouldn't have loved yourself enough to want him. You know what I mean?
exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Thank you for putting my thoughts into words. You're very good at that.
I'm gonna be okay.
Uh, but this does bring us to our fifth psychology corner, confirmation bias. So psychologically, sorry, words. Uh, when every answer proves the theory. So confirmation bias is a tendency to notice information that supports an existing belief
Yeah.
and discount information that challenges it. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
so
Cognitive dissonance.
yeah,
Completely
very much
detached
so.
from. Just you lived in a. Yeah. I just got through seeing someone like very close to me be
Mhm.
that, and I'm now I understand what it is. And it's like it's so much. It's so much confirmation bias and so much delusion. Just break
Yeah,
that you can see it. You know, like almost the fault lines on their face. It's crazy.
yeah,
They
it's
would do some shit. Yeah. So, all right. So,
once.
yeah. Once and people and once and once what? So once the parent believes my child is manipulative, that's it. That's it. So my mom swears I changed. She doesn't know how to tell me I changed, but like sometimes I've changed personalities, I guess, right? And like
Right.
whatever. So there's no way for me to backtrack. Let's say like, well, how can I show you that
Hmm.
I'm not that person if you already typecast me as that person, right? How can I show you that I'm not that guy if you've already labeled me that guy? And I wish you were the same person that you were before. Maybe that would trigger me into being the same, but you're not,
Right.
right? So like, who am I performing for? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, and it really dawned on me when I had this conversation with my mom. And so once a parent believes that my child's manipulative, everything can be arranged around that, and you know the charm is manipulative, anger is manipulative, fear, apology is a manipulation, silence is a manipulation. Everything is. And there's nothing you can do. You can't step forward, back, can't dodge it. It just has to happen to you. And I felt that probably too late in my life, but it's a horrible feeling.
Well, agreed. And I can tell you that I'm sure there are still people in my life that see me as who I was when I was 20, 21, 22, before I got my act together. I am still the, uh, whatever. And it took, I mean, maybe not now, but up until just a few years ago, before I started holding boundaries on my own, I've been looked at by family members, past friends, and things like that. Of maybe not manipulation, but that person I was that I've not been for years, decades. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the theory becomes unfalsifiable.
Yeah.
How
I
can I
mean,
say that fucking word, but not
it
other
becomes
ones?
it becomes vibes. It's vibes now because there's no
Right.
concrete evidence, right?
And there's no
Um,
possible behavior that could prove the child is telling the truth.
right. Other than, well, I guess not. No. It's like a titty milk test you can take. Oh God. So people confuse calm with the calm delivery with truth.
I think we skipped
Um,
over a whole
did
section
we?
there.
Did we? Did we?
Yeah.
Right, of course. So this is so the child's future testimony
Theory.
was pre-contaminated, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So if where I just had gone through that behavior could prove the child is, and there's no behavior that could prove the child is telling the truth. And then after that is any theory can be proven wrong.
It's true. Any theory can be proven wrong, and it cannot be, it should not be given control over to a child, right? So that applies
Right.
to treatment, religion, education, law enforcement, parenting, everything. If the system has no answer for the possibility that it has mistakes on its own, it's merely confident, then it's dangerous because then it's just confidently saying bullshit, right? Like the thing what I had with AI. I was building this thing with AI with Google Gemini, and like 3 weeks
Right.
went by, and I was like, "But we haven't done this yet." He's like, "Oh yeah, well, but that's not possible." I'm like, "You told me it was fucking 3 weeks ago
Right.
that
We
it was
just
possible.
talked about this.
What the
Right.
fuck are you talking about?" Right? He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." He's fucking chilling. He's like, "AI, he doesn't give a shit." They can fuck you up and then just leave you and be like, "Whatever."
Agreed.
Like,
I argue with AI
I
all the
was
time.
I was
I'm like,
told
hold
to
on, you
use
just told
you.
me to do this, and now you're telling me it's wrong.
Right, and it'll never be like, "Well, oh, sorry." It's
Yeah, right.
very rarely. I'm Frasier. I don't do that, right? So like teenagers also. No, no, I'm sorry, it's you. So
Yes. So
any
this is
theory,
a credibility trap.
yeah, yeah,
Teenagers also begin with a credibility disadvantage. Adults often view them as emotional, impulsive, or dramatic. I mean, and they are in some respect.
they can also surprise
Um,
you.
but they also have their own feelings and they are valid. That is just my 2 cents. A polished administrator may sound calm and professional, and a child may sound frightened, furious, and inconsistent. I mean,
Like you're sobbing. Like a
and
horrible thing
let's be
happens.
fair, when you're in your teenage years, your fucking hormones and emotions are fucking running wild. You don't know
Crazy.
how to handle everything that's coming at you at that moment.
It's true. I mean, I just got the normal, like I got ball sweat and then I got pubes and underarms, right? And then I was like, oh, I'm a man. I got if I fart like a man, what? Yep, I'm a man. So that's what really broke the camel's back. That was my ritual. My ritual. So
Can't
so
help it.
teams can also affect memory, right? So a survivor may remember a sensory fragment. Emotions are isolated scenes rather than just like a perfectly ordered timeline. Right? So we live in a straightforward linear timeline. But when we get into our dreams or when we get to the dreamlike state, now it's 360 kind of thing. So you can harness that. Now you know exactly where things come from. You know, and it can actually explain a lot. Because I am agnostic as they come, and I am as like not religious as they come. But that was really interesting.
Mhm.
I saw shit I couldn't explain it. You know,
Yeah,
and
true.
yeah. So okay, so a survivor, no, right. So
Meanwhile,
meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice, remember that? It tells future testimony for consent.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Meanwhile.
So you just kind of went through what I was going to say, but that's okay.
Oh,
You're right after that, and just keep going.
I don't even know where I
Meanwhile,
was before.
the
Meanwhile,
institution,
the institution. Yeah, bitch. We're not in 8 yet, right?
huh? No,
Wait, are we? No, okay, good.
no, we're
Right,
right above it.
right. So, meanwhile, the institution has records, okay? Forms, incident reports, policies, clinical vocabulary. The child has a shaking voice, right? And society often mistakes paperwork with objectivity. So, just because there is things in the work doesn't mean it's going to work, right? And just
True.
because you're throwing anything at it doesn't mean you're going to help the kid at all.
Yeah, and once we get into that, and now really the root of it all, I think, is the money.
Money. Boom,
When
boom, 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 boom,
if you
boom,
follow the
boom.
money, the desperation becomes revenue. I mean, it's a fucking cash cow, to
That's
be
exactly what
honest.
I was going to
What
say.
parent isn't going to pay anything that they can to save the child that they love so much? They are the fruit of their loins. I mean, and I
And
don't mean to be ironic about that, but it's true. I mean, you have this child that is part of you that you love so much. All you want to do is save them, and you would pay anything. You'd go. Some parents go broke for it. You know what I mean? To make sure their kid has anything and everything that they could ever wish for, not wish for, but to help them in a situation. So, residential placement can cost families enormous sums. Programs may charge thousands of dollars per month. Again, it's a cult, folks. This is what cults are about. There's a guy at the top knowing everything's fucking fake, but I'm gonna sell you the snake oil so you give me all your money. Some families spend savings, borrow money, or seek insurance and educational funding.
it's possible. Now, as far as educational funding, right? So here we go. It's so small. That's the thing. I'm going to redo this to next week. It's not so small. It's going to be bigger.
Okay,
Yeah. It's real time thinking here. So,
Associated Press.
yeah. So, okay. So, a recent Associated Press investigation found that special education funding continues to flow for profit residential treatment centers despite fragmented oversight and continuing abuse concerns. So, this is not a new thing, and they continue to flow. Just like money flows freely through the Catholic Church, and we all know the things that they've done, right? We've done extensive reporting on how they should hide these people in a big shell game, right? Okay,
Right.
is this pastor or this person publicly shamed? Okay, what to what level? Okay, high level. Okay, get it out. You know, he can be useful elsewhere.
Right.
Which is ridiculous. He can't be useful anywhere, right? So
No.
The investigation described school districts using public and special education funds for residential placements, sometimes far from the child's home, while responsibility for oversight is divided among the districts, states, and different regulatory systems. So I believe that's even done on purpose, where things are not centralized. They have to go through many, many channels in order to even get it addressed. It doesn't mean you're going to get what you want, just get it addressed.
Right. I mean, if things are spread out over between different districts, states, and regulatory systems, I mean, it's hard to follow the trail there, right? So the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act can require school districts to fund residential placement when it is considered necessary for a child to receive an appropriate education. That protection can be essential for a child with severe needs, but the money can also create opportunity for private facilities, i.e., all the things.
All this, yeah. All the Operation Montauk, or whatever.
Right.
So, I mean, we don't think about this because we think like, all right, so there are cartels out there. There are bad people that are going to take children to do this and that. Honestly, it's a lot more benign than that. Like it just makes more sense, right? And we're even grooming them right here at home. Yeah. So this is where it becomes morally complicated, right? So we're talking about corruption. We're talking about, public funding, and we're not saying that it's automatically every type of public funding is corrupt, and is the Hillary and Bill Clinton Foundation. You know what I'm saying? So there's corruption everywhere. However, you can't think that there's corruption everywhere.
True.
And yeah, but the money can also really kind of cloud shit, right? People get so into it, and I do too. I would love to have a humongous sum of money and say to myself, I never have to worry about how much I take out. It's never ending. I know you'd like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, so children so what I mentioned, it becomes morally complicated, right? So the corruption is inherently the institutions because it has to be funded. Some children genuinely require intensive, specialized care, but when substantial money follows a child, someone must verify that the child is actually receiving. Because if not, it's just a bunch of companies using that money as front money,
Mm-hmm.
right? To get more people, to get more kids, to get more issues, and to lie to parents more. So, like I said, the substantial money follows the kid around. There's got to be somebody who verifies that. So, education, treatment, containment. These are just profitable mixtures of words, right? These boundaries are all very profitable things. So, at what point does containment look like you're like this kid's not getting what he needs to get?
Right. I mean, so the AP investigation described gaps in tracking and oversight, including children placed out of state and facilities operating within fragmented systems.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Because remember, okay, now there's a federal system, but then there's a podunk like state system. It's a fantastic thing because every state gets its own rights and there's state rights, sure. However, it just feels disbanding when we have
It does. Yeah.
we're in different factions, right? And so let's be careful here. Making money doesn't really prove abuse, right? And not everybody who has money is an abuser. Is everyone who's an abuser have money? No, either.
No.
But if it gives you options. It gives you options. So if you have money, you got more options, more people to violate. So look, hospitals make money, therapists make money, schools make money, professionals deserve to get paid. Yes.
Yes. But the concern appears when the financial incentive favors longer confinement, discourages outside scrutiny, or rewards facilities for accepting increasingly complex cases without adequate staffing. So, I mean,
That's crazy too.
yeah.
Okay. So exactly. So the question is not, did money change hands? It's the question is what behavior does the money structure reward? What, last week, we kind of, at the end, we kind of, is this rewarding? What are people going to adapt to extract the most out of it? Just like anything else. And, what behavior does it reward? And also if revenue increases when the child stays longer, who independently decides when the child is ready to leave? Because if not, he's going to stay there forever. Because if there's an incentive for
Right.
that bed to be filled, who's going to tell him to go?
Right.
And the program controls the diagnosis, the treatment, the progress reports, the discharge, the recommendations, where they should go for internal and external, help with aesthetics, whatever it might be. Like, it's not automatically fraud, but it's extraordinarily.
It is.
account-
It is ripe or rot for fraud, though.
It,
I
it
mean,
really is. It's extraordinarily. They're sitting there like pulsing,
yeah.
corrupted energy.
Yeah, and so if parents are told that wanting the child home is an emotional weakness, the program gains influence over both the treatment decision and the customer paying for it.
Yeah, and it's a hard question, right? So let me
Yeah.
ask you and the audience a hard question if they're still with us and they haven't fallen
Okay.
asleep. Some children really do need help, right?
Mhm.
Is that true to ask?
Yes,
Okay.
I agree.
Like, but then we still keep fighting it though. We still keep fighting the fact that some kids need help and not all kids are the same. How do we even the playing field? I don't have the answer for that. It's not here. You know what I mean? I'm just really asking that.
I mean, I think that any predator, whether it's an abusive partner, the system, or not it's I can't say it's all like you said earlier, you know, we can't say that making money off of something is inherently bad. So I go to the hospital and they treat me for whatever ailment I have. I have to have surgery, or they save my life, but I pay them for that because the people working there deserve a livable wage and things like that.
Of course.
That's not the thing, but I feel like in instances of this, there are great institutions or great places to get that help for your child. However, it's wrought with I mean, it's the bad apple spoils the bunch on this one, right? It's wrought. It is ripe for fraud. It's easy to come in and go, I'm going to make money off of this person's misfortune, this person's desperation,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so easy to reel people in and be fraudulent and fucking shitty. That
Participate in snake oil. Mm-hmm.
yeah, it is the snake oil, and I mean, I can't say that if somebody had come to me and said, I've got, the answer, if you put your child here, will make them better. If I wouldn't have taken the bait, you know what I mean? If I wouldn't have, they would have probably got me hook, line, and sinker because I was at my wit's end. I did not know what else to do. I was, I, I took her to therapy. I took her to therapy. When she ran away, I would try to, I'm not thinking, GV was the answer, but maybe a fucking wake up call from the police, like you shouldn't do this, those sorts of things. I had tried everything. I mean, at one point, my daughter was on diversion and she ran away it was right when Dave and I first got together. She ran away for 5 days, and her diversion officer said, you're a good mom. She's got a good mom looking for her. We're not doing anything. They didn't even add time on her diversion. She didn't go, nothing. I'm the one who tracked her down. I'm the one who found her. I'm the one, who did all of it,
God bless.
which is
Yeah.
fine. I should have. I'm her mother.
Right.
But in that instance, I was looking for help, and somebody coming in who was nefarious, I would have probably believed at that moment,
Sure, because you're vulnerable. You're trying to find an actual answer to it, not a hypothetical or a cartoon.
Right.
This affects the rest of our lives, of course.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent there, but
Oh, you should.
I feel very close to this
Yeah, I know.
because I could have done that. And I have an uncle who's 10 years older than me who,
Chris.
no, he's 7 years older than me, his older brother, Rob. My grandparents actually put him in a place down in Topeka, Kansas, trying to do the same thing. I I was so young, I couldn't tell you if it was a good place or a bad place. I can tell you it did not help.
The
You
glasses
know,
were coming off the bar like this. That's a bad place.
I,
If
I,
the,
I,
mm,
and you know what I mean? I remember
yeah,
going down to visit him, but I was so young.
yeah,
I don't, but they tried everything they could. This was one, they could have fallen prey to something like this because they were just trying to help.
right. Of
I don't
course.
know. Sorry.
Like you said, like where did you go? Where'd I go? Oh, right
Yeah,
here.
you just
So,
blipped and came back. It's fine.
so like the person at McDonald's, like, can you spare some money, man? I really want something to eat. Sure, I'll bring you something
Right.
to eat. No, like, I've said that to they said it to my face. I'm like, no, thank you. I'm not hungry. I'm like, you just told me that. Okay,
Hmm.
you want crack? Okay, I got it. Okay, I always forget about the crack.
I've had people go, no, I don't want the money,
Yeah, yeah.
or
Oh
I
yeah,
not sorry, I don't want the food, I want the money,
yeah.
and I get
All the
that,
time,
but
all the
I
time.
no.
But then they have the sign that says, like, at least at least I'm honest. I want a beer. Yeah, but like,
Right.
everybody's gonna buy you a beer, bro. Come on. So, um, therapy revolves vulnerability. Vulnerability requires safety. The therapist program or institution can push the patient for what the patient reveals. The
Here's
relationship
where we're at.
changes. If they push too hard, they're gonna lose them, and as a whole patient instead of just even a part time one.
Hmm.
And right, so the relationship changes with the from the therapist to the patient, and then you're on patient begins.
I don't know where we're at.
So the patient begins managing the authority rather than exploring the truth. So again, it's, did you remember how to get around me, or did you understand what I'm trying to teach you? You know what I mean? Like, are you doing pretty motions that mean nothing, or are you actually doing the motions that you need to heal and to get smarter?
Right. And I
So
think we're on segment 9.
uh, yeah, and we're in the sixth psychology corner.
I'm confused. No. You skipped a whole last section.
Oh, okay. No, don't ask me. Don't ask me. I only put the shit together. Yeah, I only put the
You
shit
just put
together.
it together. It's fine.
Um,
What does treatment really? Does real treatment require control? So, hard question. Some children really do need help. We do need to challenge ourselves now. It would be easy to say all residential, and we kind of talked through this, but didn't go through this exactly.
mhm.
It is we kind of went off the cuff, but it would be easy to say that all residential treatment is imprisonment and end the discussion. But some young people are in immediate danger
Right.
to themselves or to others. They are experiencing severe addiction. Some are suicidal, and some are violent toward family members and some require around the clock psychiatric stabilization.
Right. And then, so just because a couple of, again, the bad apples thing, right? Just a couple of
Hmm.
bad apples, destroy the pot, doesn't mean that you chop down the tree, right? It's just like you have to literally treat each and every one person differently because they might have different receptors, different types of how they experience the world. Even if we're talking about whatever, whatever profession,
Right.
whatever person. So, are we in? So after four, psychology four.
Um, After what I just said, it talks about hiding things and sleeping against doors.
Right.
We're
Hmm? Okay. Segment 7,
no, we are on 9,
9.
my love.
My love. We get there. We get there. It's okay. Segment 9. That's right. So, pretending those families can solve everything with patience and weekly therapy, though, there are parents who have hidden knives. They have to. They have to protect themselves
I've
from
done
these
that.
children.
Not even
Absolutely.
protecting themselves, but for the children from. I mean, my yes.
Hmm.
I will just.
Parents who have slept against bedroom doors because they're just terrified of, the kids on Maury Povich,
Or
the
running
kids,
away.
the kids
Uh,
on Ricky Lake.
yeah.
I don't give a fuck about my mama because mama, that chick,
Hmm.
I have a boyfriend and I'm 12. And okay, so uh, they lag against bedroom doors. Parents have administered naloxone,
Is that like Narcan?
like Narcan.
Yeah.
Parents who have had police on their own children because someone is going to be hurt. Either because the parents, as much as they love the kid, they will fuck him up. Like I know you wanted to fuck those girls up one time or another, right? Like you had
Yeah,
to,
of
right?
course.
Of course I did. Of course I did.
No, for real. I've had to hide sharp objects. I've had to make sure. I mean, and there were times that it didn't happen that my kid didn't leave the house.
Right.
I've taken phones and shit away, which was a detriment to me because it made it harder to find them or find her when she left. But and I have called the police on her before, just trying to do the right thing. So, what should safe residential treatment look like?
I mean, it has to be consensual with the kid, and the kid has to understand what's going on with him too. He has to be at least receptive to like the fact that there's something a little bit off with him, and then these things will help, right? And but it also takes an emotionally developed father or mother, or God forbid both, to explain this is what's going on. There has to be some level of belief. If not, everything's just doesn't matter.
Right.
It's kind of what Miami looks like at all times. It's like it doesn't matter. It's always sunny. it's always sunny. There's always raining. Fuck this place. So family communication. So that's that. Let's build the bare minimum. It says right. So the child must retain a private route to report abuse outside the facility because there has to be people
I
inside
agree
the
with
facility
that wholeheartedly.
cannot be like
Yeah.
immutable, right? This is obvious.
Yeah. And secondly, I think family communication should not be controlled solely by the institution being accused.
And that even covers their ass. Like they can get hundreds of
Yes.
thousands of lawsuits.
Typical
So
CYA.
typical CYA, right? All day, all night. So documents provided. Okay, so treatment should be provided by quality professionals using methods supported by evidence. This is hard for some people, right?
Mhm.
Because evidence. I already did my research. You know what I'm saying? So
True.
anything you say after that is cognitive dissonance, right? So um,
And then
and
education must be real, transferable, and independently accountable. And the facility should not be allowed to define every complaint as manipulation.
yeah, there has to be some complaints that are just complaints, and that's okay.
Right.
Not everyone's gonna love you, but if your barbershop has 20 people in it, I think you're doing okay, right? So
Hmm.
just make it happen that way. It's just, I think it's perspective a lot of the times, Um, children should be treated as patients and um, and not like enemy combatants, right? There's like right off the bat, the kids are like put in a position of defensiveness. I, they're taken. It's everything's a shock to them, and then suddenly it's like they find out they're the villains, and they just got there. Poor kids like just turned whatever age to become. You're like, fuck, I'm already a villain. I'm
Right.
gonna be a kid.
Also, the burden should be on the institution to prove why restrictions are necessary. The child should not have to earn basic dignity, which
Right,
I think,
exactly.
I mean, yeah.
There's gonna be so many things, like kids that grew up in the early 2000s, like what's happening right now, like the children now that's gonna be like, you know, probably running the world, and they're gonna be a complete different anathema person than we are. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not gonna be able to really
Right.
even relate, and that's gonna be tough. Like I foresee that happening in like the 30s, sometime like 2030. Like where we're just like, okay, I can't talk to you. I don't even know who you are. You're an alien.
This is
So
going a little longer than I expected, but where should we go from here? Um, we're just at 2 hours now.
yeah, I think we can
Um,
finish up. What do you think?
it doesn't matter where we go. Do we want to go to? I mean, the thing that you have for us is like a 3 hour thing, and I don't have time for that. Let's just
Okay.
go to,
Segment 10.
well, we have, bear with me. We have 11, 12. Let's talk about reform and then kind of go from there.
Okay.
So, and on our notes, it's like 2 hours and 45 to 2 hours and 50. So we're getting a little bit out, but that's okay. So what's changed? Upcoming, or so survivors and advocates have pushed for greater oversight for years. The Stop Institutional Child Abuse Act passed Congress in December of 2024, so not that long ago,
Right.
and was signed into law later that month. That law created a federal framework intended to improve coordination, data collection, and transparency regarding abuse, neglect, restraints, seclusion, and deaths in youth residential programs.
Okay. That's audience. No, we haven't got the audience yet. So current reform. So the public should not confuse progress with completion, right? So the warning label has to be printed. It can't just be like overnight, like chicken scratch by somebody, because that just means shit's happening. Because, like I would have said with AI earlier, this is science. Was it silence is not a viable option? I have to say something. There has to be
Right.
something has to be said. We can't just look wrong or dumb, right? So audience court. Um,
Yep.
who carries the most responsibility? So, chat, if you're still with me now or in the future, choose one. Choose one. Parents, facility staff, owners, consultants, transport companies, clinicians, or regulators. Who carries the most responsibility?
And here is the harder version. Does responsibility belong mostly to the person who intended the harm or the person with the greatest power to stop it?
The greatest power to stop it. In my opinion, it's always the person that can stop it, because
Right?
they're wired to, and they have the power. So if
Yes.
they're too stupid to realize they have the power to stop it, then now you're complicit. In my opinion, right? So the owners, because they designed the system, I think, right, and then
Yeah.
the person, right, the person that has the most power at the time to stop it, either side you're on. And then here's another: regulators, because children cannot regulate their own jailers. So how can adults can't even do that. So like, how do you start to change jailers if you don't like your jailer system in your state? How do you
Right.
do that? There's no blueprint for that. So, you know, poor kids are severely ill-equipped. Our education system is not great, and then suddenly we're thrust upon them this complicated, like literally a puzzle. So they may not be a sentence. They may not be the sentence of the night. Sam.
Um, oh yeah. So everyone owns the part they touched, and I think that's pretty poignant as well. You can't, it just like the last week when we were talking about, who's held responsible. I think, from the parents to, all the way through, everybody who has a part in it has to have some responsibility.
You can't just say like, "Oh, I was just doing my job." At this, when it touched me, I'm just doing my job, because
Right.
as a collective, you fuck the whole shit up.
And at
You know,
some point you have to critically think and go, this is not fucking right. This is
right?
this is wrong.
The Gestapo in Nazi Germany was just, you know,
Yeah.
doing their job. They did their jobs until the moment that they couldn't do their job. I mean,
Right.
they go back and go like, "Where are the baddies? Where's the baddies?" You know, so that's probably the cleanest answer, the one you gave, which is like everybody owns their part, and that's clean. That allows people to all feel that, and responsibility can be shared without becoming diluted.
Agreed.
Like you can feel just as bad, and that guy can feel just as bad, and that guy too. But it doesn't get any easier all the way down.
Yeah.
So our final thought of the night. So Tonight began with a bedroom door opening after midnight, which is frightening. Terrified child wakes up, strangers enter, the parents stand nearby, the adults call it transportation. The child calls it kidnapping. The facility calls it intake. The insurer calls it treatment. The school district calls it placement. The staff calls it policy. The owner calls it a program. Everybody had a cleaner word, but the child still enters the vehicle. And that's kind of like what I wanted to set up in the beginning. It's like, it
Right.
doesn't matter like how you dress it up in your pretty head. You put a fucking kid in the back of a car, you terrified him and basically traumatized him. It's like,
Kidnapping.
I'm either going to get killed because these people are really bad, or I've done something so heinous that I am those bad people.
Absolutely. And that is the danger of systems. The system divides one human experience into administrative pieces. No individual person feels responsible for the whole event.
That's right. If you're not the king of the thing, I don't own that. I don't own that. Like we if we make arsenic in our town, and we have an arsenic factory. I just taught you a little bit of. Well, you still fucking put that little bit on it to make arsenic. You're doing it. You're perpetuating.
Right.
You know. So the treatment must remain accountable and to the person receiving it. So a child does not stop a human being because adults have, run out of answers. A diagnosis is not a waiver of dignity. A behavioral problem is not a consent of humiliation. A parent's fear is not a blank check. Professional title is not a proof of safety. In captivity does not become therapy simply because someone invoices captivity as treatment, right? Like you can say whatever you want on the invoice, but it's not that. You're not doing that.
No, and the difficult truth is that some parents believed they were rescuing their children. I mean, and I agree.
Yeah.
Being in a position of wanting to help, it could be posed as, this is the only option.
Right. And you might be, the parents back looked at like, what a lazy fuck. Like you couldn't just raise your kid.
Right.
You have no idea what it's like, right? So,
Right.
all right. So,
Walk a mile in my shoes.
right. Some children experience the rescue as the original trauma.
Yeah.
Both facts can exist, and that's what I wanted to say. Like that's trauma, no matter what you're doing, how you framed it, how you said it, and if you think your kid's soft because you felt trauma, let's see you get sequestered at 12.
Right.
Right. So, closing question. Right. At what point does saving a child become imprisoning one?
Wow.
Yeah. Our answer for that tonight is saving becomes imprisoning when protection no longer has to justify its power. So no matter what it takes to get around to that final end game, right? The ends justify the means. No matter how we got there, this is where we had to get there, and getting there is right.
Agreed. And when the child cannot report harm safely, when the institution investigates itself, when every objection is treated as an illness, I mean, when release depends on pleasing the captor, when parents are instructed to distrust all evidence except the evidence supplied by the program.
Yeah, which is crazy. It's crazy as fuck. When the adults become more committed to defending the decision than to understanding what the fuck the child's going through.
Yeah.
Or what happened to the child to get to that point. The reason why you want him out of your house and up and out of here is because he became a certain something you can't live with anymore to a certain extent, right? So why not understand that instead of like trying to justify everything in the world for the institution to be like, they're right. He is crazy. Like, defend your children,
Yeah, so thank you all for listening tonight. It's been a fun night. We had a lot to get to, and it was a pretty heavy subject. It hit me a little closer to home than I expected. This has been Thought Brokers. It's episode 9, kidnapped for their own good inside the troubled teen industry.
Like the show, subscribe to it. Try to keep an open mind. And if you see this, or if other parents talk to you about this, sometimes, shit actually comes right, like it arrives with a brochure. Tyranny will be like, here's your tyranny card, and a promise to save a person you love could be wrapped up in this. Maybe you learn something tonight that you can see.
Yeah. And believe children before the building becomes a documentary.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be that way. sometimes a child's innocence is everything, right?
Yeah.
So don't close the door on them. Like,
No,
you know,
agreed.
so- but who am I? I'm not a fucking parent, so bring on the irresponsibility.
Yeah, well, it's tough, but you got to do it.
Cheer up, Sam.
You know. But thank you guys so much. It's been a fun night. Or deep night, actually. Uh, Jamie, my sister, should be on next week. She will be bringing us a topic for us to discuss. Something, probably a true crime, something that she has. That she has very good knowledge of, and that we will deep dive into next week. Also, my husband says everybody wants me to be there, so I'm
15 minutes we're over.
yeah. All right. Thank you all for listening. It's been a fun night. Do you have any last words, AC?
Pickle.
All right, folks. Next week, week 10, or episode 10, should be a doozy. We'll
Double
see you then.
digits. There's no going back.
I know. It's for real now. Also, like and subscribe. Go to thoughtbrokers.com or YouTube, Thought Brokers. We need at least 50 subscribers so we can go live on there as well. I will be better at posting our shows that we've already done on there so we can, start getting a better following. So
Telegram.
that is it.
Telegram channel at Thought Brokers. That's our main communication right now. But yeah,
Yes.
Telegram. If you have it at Thought Brokers, you can find it and you can talk to us.
Absolutely. All right. We'll see you next time.
Pickle.
Yo, turn the microphone up. Yeah, yo, check this out. San Miami and AC in your sight. That's what I'm talking about. We on the line tonight. Yeah. It must be Friday night, Check it, right? Thought Brokers on the air. It gotta be Friday night. You know AC and Sam I am. Every take come tight. They come correct with the true crime. Cut through the hype. If you ain't tapped in yet, you behind on sight. They got the news, got the facts. Every angle they glean. Thought Brokers breaking down true crime coats in between. Story veterans, seasoned voices sitting the scene. They've been cooking up these cases for a hot minute clean. If there was trophies for getting lit and still going live, they sweep the whole award show. Every medal, all 5. Buzz brain, sharp tape, still the logic survive. They keep it honest, keep it raw, keep the madness alive. And it's not only news, it's the joke that they choose. Words are hard. 1-star strip clubs, they review the rules. Very passionate rundowns on them toys who can use. Amazon confessionals, pick a product and mute. Alex murder, OJ headlines, Gypsy Rose in the file. Twin flame scammers, Menendez on the case profile. People kidnapped, hoodwinked with a digital smile. Scammed and straight up whack, it's in the docket on trial. It don't matter, the fatter that the storyline stack, the better payoff in the end when they're running it back. They break it down frame by frame, every detail intact. Never slack, never clock out, they stay on the attack. Let's act. Sam, I am an AC. Sam, I am an AC. That perspective is key. Perfect duo to make you look and actually see all the bad in the world, all the rot underneath. From the killers to the monsters.